you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now, the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way, and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this, drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, This has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just heat it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife, or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife, so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans or round cans, exactly the same way. Now this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven? Get your hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness. Every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick. Drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it. Makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now, don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's 2 curls out of the 1 potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the 2 colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. On my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat 'em. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in 2. Serve them on the half shell just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way, and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this, drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast. Why, they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the champeen vegetable mincing knife and noodle cutter. Now, when you want to make some...
Hey there, everyone. How we doing tonight? I was planning a whole lot more tonight. I just couldn't get it done tonight. So we're doing Spooky Week. Gonna be doing caramel cheesecake apple cups. Going to be doing stuffed carnival squash with a turkey sausage that we're going to make here, and along with some other goodies. Obviously, already broken into the wine. We're drinking rosé tonight. Got a big bulk bottle here. And so we're going to start with our squash, which may be a project to get out of the fridge here. Use those tonight. Use this tonight. So carnival squash. You guys probably may think of this as acorn squash. Very similar, different patterning. This one's a little bit more, I don't know, tie-dyed, but spotted, multicolored. Your typical acorn squash is just one color or two color. Doing pretty well tonight, I guess. But I'm here. How are you guys tonight? What's new in your guys' world? Trying to break the stem off. Nope. Nope. And I'm cutting into the meat of it that way. We'll slice through it. We'll just slice through it that way. Good advice. I'm not gonna save the seeds, so I'm just scraping it out into the compost. Yeah, the hurricanes have been sort of nuts this year. Hurricanes and forest fires and all that. Glad you're doing okay. Oh, that's what I can do. If I find my phone somewhere. I think it's on my desk in the back. Okay. Be right back. What we can do here is How's that? Gonna leave this guy whole. Not gonna do both of these tonight. So besides that, we're gonna get our filling going for this, which I'm gonna use up the last of these mini shiitakes I got. I say mini shiitakes, it's just all the small ones. Do some onions, some garlic, or rather some shallot and some garlic. Apple, and we'll make our own sort of. I got some ground turkey, and we'll turn our ground turkey into sausage. Add some spices, some seasoning. Squeezing off the stems with shiitakes. Sometimes you can just rip the stems off of some mushrooms. Shiitakes, it's generally a lot better if you just sort of squeeze them and let them sit for a second, and then they'll release. It's sort of odd. Well, that just snapped off. I wouldn't use shiitakes, would not be my first choice. This is more of I have them to use. I would probably use something a little bit milder for this, say like a cremini, or maybe a actually I'd probably use oysters. Oysters would be great for this. So I'm just going to ditch those stems. So the squash is somewhat straightforward. I'm actually still trying to decide how I want to do dessert tonight. But we're doing caramelized apples, and we're going to do a combination of caramel and no big cheesecake filling. I originally, and what I couldn't find, I've spent a week or two searching for some sort of option for this, was a stick with a base on it. Because what I really wanted to do was to core out the apples and have a stick with a base on it. And that way we could have the core of it out and fill that with our no-bake cheesecake and then just dip the whole thing or wrap it with chilled caramel. That was the initial plan for tonight. Couldn't find a proper stand to work for that. And I've got some other ideas, but I just couldn't flesh them out in time. So instead, we're going to be doing cups with them. I'm going to take the apples, I'm going to cut them in half. I'm going to somewhat hollow out the inside. We're going to coat the areas that's going to oxidize with caramel. And then we're going to pipe cheesecake filling into the cavity. Let's see what else I'm going to grab here out of my veggies for tonight. Let's do some salad. I don't think we're going to end up using those, unfortunately. And carrots. Thus concludes our bi-weekly farmer's market box. I'm not sure what I'm doing with those yet. Let's see here. Let's get these roasting. A little high heat or sunflower oil. Just drizzled in the center there. I'm going to use my hand to spread it all over. If you got a nice spray to use, I don't keep a spray around. I occasionally buy it, but it's not always in my pantry. You can use that instead. Be a little bit quicker. Probably get even a little bit evener coating. Salt. And wait for our oven to heat up for those. Hey, BA, welcome in. Thank you. How are you tonight? Hungry. What are you planning for dinner tonight? You streaming tonight? And I'm realizing that Mix It Up Bot is not doing my announcements again. Why are you not working, Mix It Up Bot? You said hello to Steatotronics earlier. Well, let's do our battle here. First of our Halloween-themed Stream Raiders battles. Congrats, Entropy. Ooh, gold. A rogue skin. Let's go center out. And start up here in the top. If you guys are interested in joining in, the Stream Raiders link there is in chat. Go back to our garlic here. Yeah, I was planning on costume and some other things tonight, and that didn't quite pan out. I don't stream tomorrow, so I was going to dress up, but the only reason I had to dress up was to stream tonight. Cut off the tail ends here. Maybe a little heavy on garlic here, but it's garlic. Yep, that'll work well for this. So if you're just joining in, we're doing stuffed carnival, or what you probably more commonly know as an acorn type of squash, which I've hollowed one out here back here in the red light. But the carnival has got the carnival skin. Multicolored, you get some oranges and some greens, versus the more solidly colored traditional acorn squash. We got some leftover shiitakes I had in the fridge. We're going to do some garlic, some shallot, some apple, and make up a sort of our own batch of turkey sausage. And we'll use that to stuff those two guys on the stove. So actually I'm going to reserve some of this garlic and use that with one part of this And the rest is going to go here with this. So these guys I'm going to flip down. And that way they will trap this liquid inside somewhat. The skin is still going to allow a decent amount of moisture out. But that way they're going to steam more on the inside. We're not going to get a ton of color this way unless you like overcook the squash. But it is sort of nice this way, this same method. If you do overcook the squash, if you don't care about having, like a toothsome squash that's got some textures to it still. If you're just making, like, say, pumpkin puree, you can roast it until that skin, like, turns tough on the outside. And it just pulls out like pre-made puree. So it's a great way to do it. But we're going to do a sort of shorter roast here. Especially since we got like 60-40 going on here. And oven's not quite hot, but I'm tired of waiting. I give those a good 40-minute roast. Let's get rid of these carrots that are just... let's do 2 of these guys for the salad tonight. I like shallots. I've been getting them here in these grab-and-go boxes. Typically don't buy them, though, because, they're typically so expensive compared to, say, onion or garlic here in the States that it's not... As much as I like them and like using them, it's not really worth it. It's much more reasonable if you're in a restaurant and you're buying them by the case. But I don't know, maybe they just don't sell or what it is, why that they're cured. It's not like they have to be sold immediately. It's sort of weird. And they're not that much more expensive if you, say, go to a farmer's market. It's the same to the farmer. So there must be some weird metric that's making them more expensive. Even though we peeled the skin on him, he was looking a little dirty. They are, without question, I think, the best when it comes to sauces. They have that, like... They seem to have most of the benefits of garlic and onion at the same time. They're just not worth, half the price of both together. Or 1.5 times the price of either. These guys should go back in the fridge. So we're going to set all this aside for a moment here. So we're going to make some turkey sausage. Actually, we're going to start with this guy, not with the bowl. Stand. Handle's too heavy. I've scrubbed it too much. I thought I had some thyme kicking around here. Guess not. This is just rosemary in here. Yeah. So maybe we'll use sage. Be right back. Oh, the thyme's in with the parsley there. Steal a little fresh sage from my porch plant. No. Wildfire and ash and all. Sage is about the only one that I've had regular success with here. I've had seasonal success with like thyme and a couple other plants, but so many herbs just like straight bolt. Like dill is horrible for growing. It just goes straight to flowering, and it's like, well, okay, either have to use the whole plant right now or just wasted my time. So you got some thyme. A little bit of parsley. And I think I'm going to take the larger leaves. I'm going to save these smaller guys for maybe garnishing the squash itself. Let's do the thyme first. Just want the leaves. Going to make a sort of an oil infusion here. Make sure we get the oil with some flavor with it. Or, I don't know, maybe I'll use some lard. And we'll mix this with the turkey. We'll do herbs, we'll do some spices, and we'll do a little bit of oil. And we'll do it just enough to really cook through the garlic, but not brown it at all. And we'll mix that with our ground turkey, and it'll give it all sorts of flavor. That's the problem for most small farms, BU. They get everything at once. So it's like they have an entire row of crops ready to go and they got to sell it today. Depends on how you approach it. I'm sort of envious of some of these small family cider companies. Not alcoholic cider, but apple cider or pear cider or whatever they have. I'm sort of looking at them. It's like that's the life to me. They have trees that they have to deal with a couple weeks out of the year, and then they're either selling the fruit then, and it's just a one-time push, but you really got to push that one time the entire year. Or you're making cider, and you still have a couple of weeks, but at least it's frozen then, in many cases. That's not very pumpkin. Does that look pumpkin to you guys? That doesn't look pumpkin to me. That doesn't look pumpkin to me. The lights right here, according to Google Home, this color is pumpkin. So I'll turn the lights off again here. Yeah, it's a little bit more red than I'm thinking here. That's coral. That's even more pink. That's sandy brown, which looks more blue-white to me. Let's go back to dark red. Hey there, Nan Reader. Welcome in. Why is it given... Oh, I guess it's just selectively choosing to ignore you, BU. So we got our outdoor sage, parsley, thyme. Garlic. Is that the onion powder or is this the onion powder? Onion powder. Thought I had some of that in here. I thought I had fennel seed. I don't have fennel seed. Oh darn. So, red pepper flake. Little bit of coriander. Little bit. Guess we'll skip it. There we go. And let's throw a bay leaf in there too. Why not? Sort of how I feel about bay leaves in general. You know, why not? Sort of helps. Use the olive oil here. Throw this on a flame. The idea here again is infusing, not cooking. That is probably enough right there. We just want to get all those flavors in there nice and happy. Add in some salt. A little MSG as well. Take our organic diesel turkey. Working in the dark here again. Ground turkey. Why is that attached so hard? Wow. I want to say that's ground, but it almost looks like it's molded. No, it's ground. Make sure we get all that goodness out of here. Pull that bay leaf back out. We'll leave the rest of it in there. Bay leaf just flavoring that oil. Add a little wine to our sausage. We'll set that aside for now. Actually, we won't. We'll get into cooking that now. High flame on our large cast iron. Just to make things relatively easy here. Just gonna do sort of like meatballs. That way we get some decent searing, get some decent color, but we're really just throwing it into the stuffing mix. So it doesn't really matter how cutesy we are right now. debacle. Let me get this turkey going. Less of our pseudo turkey sausage. And I'm going to turn this first couple first. Baby tongs. Okay. Battle. Oh, no problem. We got this. Victory. 2 winners. Entropy and chocolate for healing. Grats to you guys. Grats to me. Let's take a quick look at our army. Take a quick look at the store. What we got for scrolls here? Tank scrolls, we'll buy them. Tank scrolls, we'll buy them. The rest we'll leave that for now. Upgrade our tank. We'll start with that. Back to our pseudo meatballs. Spooky week. So we got some cream cheese coming up to room temp here for our apples here. Let's chop our apples for our stuffing while we're waiting here. I'm going to leave the skins on for the stuffing apples. This was also not an apple I was planning for stuffing. So it's sort of glad that I am, because it's got a sort of nasty part at the top there. I was planning on using this guy for caramel. Not sure how thin I want to slice these guys. We are using them for filling. We are going to cook them. I think about that's good. These being your typical Granny Smiths, I just sort of automatically went for these with going with caramel. You want that tart and sweet. Where's our bowl at? We're going to keep using this bowl. Even though it's full of raw meat. That guy's good. Oops. Heat off. Clean up our mess. And so our sausage. Give a bit of that a try. That'll do nicely. So we'll set that aside. We got our pan hot. We're going to add a bit more oil here, since that turkey basically absorbed everything that was there. Got about 5.5 minutes until our let's switch mics here. Gotta get all that sizzle ASMR. finally, our mushrooms. Starting to stick a little bit, so I'm going to throw a little wine in here. Add apples. I add some water to that. Still cooking a bit too hot. Gonna turn it way down now. Allow that water to steam those apples a little bit. Get them cooking down. So I'm still torn on how I want to do these apples. I still haven't decided. We're going to turn that fan on for a moment. House is mighty smoky at the moment. Makes for a nice eerie atmosphere for me, but you guys don't see the light streaks coming in from the door over here where the smoke is lighting up the light like it's a light show or something. I think we're close there. So we'll toss all of this loveliness in with this. Now here's where I want to use my Yulu. I don't want to use it in this bowl though. If you guys know what a Yulu is. Timer for our squash. That is awesome. I can tell already just looking at it. Got some beautiful roasted color going on with the outside there. A little bit of color where it was standing. We'll set that over here to cool down for a little bit. Don't want that necessarily hot. A Yulu is... Oh, am I going to set off my smoke alarm now? This is a Yulu. This is a Alaskan or Northern Territory knife, which is used in a rocking method, often with a curved bowl or a curved cutting board surface. So this would be perfect for rocking back and forth in here if this wasn't a metal bowl. Yeah, it does sort of look like a weapon, doesn't it, Entropy? Welcome in. But I think I'm going to opt for something a little more standard. I don't care if you lurk. I'm just glad to have you guys in here. Especially today. I could use some friends tonight. So I appreciate you guys being here. So we've now ensured that all of our turkey is well cooked through. And this is still going to probably be too much to fill in our two halves here, but at least it tastes good. So leave that. We'll set this aside for now. Now we get to figure out how I'm going to do apples, when I really don't have a clue how I'm going to do this yet. Yeah, we're doing caramel first. Caramel first. Oh, I don't have it over here. I'll be right back. I'm realizing now that I don't have music playing. That looks good. I thought I had this open. There we go. Do we have butter available ready? Yes. Yay for planning ahead. Corn syrup, brown sugar. Gotta learn how to pour on stream so it's impressive. Of course, it means I probably just got corn syrup all over my webcam cover. Allow that to drain out for a moment here. Nope, we're fine. Yeah, let's rinse it out first. I was tempted to just go into the sugar, but hey, Glass. Welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Nope. If Twinkies win on Wednesday, I might bacon wrap them. But you guys gotta vote them in over, what are they? Vegemite on the Discord. Oh, I know that dream. That's not a fun time. I'm definitely living that dream today too. You start heating this up, start melting it. Put our brown sugar away while that's warming up over there. We need some butter here for our caramel. So we got that going. We need this too. We got ourselves some condensed milk. I'm going to mix in about half of this can. We need to bring this up to 240-ish. Meantime, we'll wipe off our board here. I don't know how many apples I'm going to really try and do here. It's just for myself here. I bought the bulk apples because that was the deal. But let's see. You look like a nice bruised one. You look a nice large apple. You look pretty good too. So we'll do 2 big guys. Slice them right down the center. We're gonna grab our melon baller. Make sure and get those stems on the top and bottom here. And then we're going to ball out a little bit of it. Still want to leave an apple there, but okay. I think that's good for him. Damn it. Well, that's ruined. Hey, car guy, how you doing tonight? Welcome in. Does look a little blood sloop like, doesn't it? These may get a little brown on me now because I'm going to have to redo that caramel. But I'm trying to get them done so I can get over there and focus on that. The hope was I was going to have the caramel around the same time as these guys. I just couldn't focus on both at the same time. Screwed up. Yeah, we can take a little bit more out of that guy. I'm gonna turn these all down just in minor hope of keeping them a little bit from browning. Run our battle real quick. Oh, lovely. No, we won't run our battle real quick. Because I gotta update the game. Instead, we're going to get rid of this caramel. Going about this wrong. It's already burnt, but we want it hot. We want it pouring out of the pan. What'd you make for dinner tonight, BU? I know you're saying you're going to do something just sort of simple. In fact, we're just going to switch pans here. Nice. I'm using some olives tonight. Where did I do with my measuring? Of course. That's sort of the surprise. Yep, you get the guess on that one till basically the end. Erg, need more corn syrup. Can't mess it up again. It's the last of my corn syrup here. Oh, at least for the most part. We still need you. I don't know. Maybe Pocky? I like Pocky. They're fun. The pork turned out great this time. And that strawberry shake, the Pop-Tart strawberry shake was awesome. The most like integrated one that I think you couldn't even really tell was there. Kirby, thank you for that 4 months. 4 months already. Thank you.
Good evening, chef.
Welcome in. But the one that I think was probably the most successful in integrating was the 5 cups of popcorn in a meatloaf. How you been, Kirby? It's been a minute since I've seen you streaming. Hopefully everything's well. Hopefully we're just dealing with delays in the new workshop build. Why does that say musician? You are not a musician. I did not change. I didn't say that. Let's fix that right now. There, we got that saved. You're now properly done there. Let's see if my BU didn't fire off. Oh. That's why. We'll figure that out later. Forgetting my sugar again here. Let's turn our color back to normal here so you guys can actually see what I'm doing with the caramel. That's back to normal there. Okay. Gotta save some of that for our cheesecake. So we're gonna skimp on that a little bit. Turn it down a little bit. See where we're looking temp-wise here. Still got a flame. Nice, Kirby. So is your workshop going along? We're going to be surprised with a whole new arrangement, or is that still a longer work in progress? Ouch. That's no fun. I have not had good luck trying to find good help. It is something hard to find. Wishing I had a candy thermometer right now. Yep. Larger margin, even if it takes them twice as much. Well, yeah and no. If it takes you twice as long, I'd rather do... it doesn't work. But yeah, I understand that they're going to take the more money. Excuse me. How we doing on our battles here? I'm forgetting battles? Oh. We're working on reinstalling the program here. That's right. Gotta be getting close here now. Okay. Yeah. We do have some up in that temp area. So I'm going to cut the heat now. Starting adding cubes of butter. Let's do our battle while I add cubes of butter here. This is cooling down quick. Victory. Grats entropy. Head mama bear. We're just gonna keep going here. Grab some butter. Keep stirring. last of the butter. Looking like a nice thick caramel there. It's been a minute since I made a nice caramel. I've been having issues with that lately. Okay, let's coat our apples. Starting to brown a little bit there. We need a place for these guys to go. So we'll put our apples here without the butter wrapper. Sunny side up. We'll get rid of our whisk here because this is going to become a candy issue. Get that in some water right away. And I'm going to drizzle some chocolate over the top of these guys. Want to try and coat all of our flesh sides that have been cut so that we don't get any more browning. Tired of holding this already. Stay. Yeah, I'm going to risk barehanding this. And it is warm. Oops. A little messy with that guy. Hey Midget Hedgehog, how you doing? Welcome in. Thank you for worrying about my hands there. Yes, you do want to be careful around sugar there. I was getting close there of having too much in my hand. It is not something that you want all over your hands. this is thankfully now getting to the point here that when I touch it, it solidifies, thankfully. But yeah, sugar is like napalm, caramel is like napalm. It sticks and stays. So, you want to be very careful with hot caramel. So we're going to go back over, since we have all of this extra caramel here, I'm going to hit up the sort of bare spots here. Awesome. So we got a little extra caramel. What the heck am I going to do with that? Need a clean scrubby for this. If you're going to try and... I'm giving away my secret here, but if you're trying to coat an apple with wax, or rather with caramel, it already has wax. You need to scrub it. Oh, that could happen too here, midget. But we're going to start by getting rid of that wax on this guy and try and coat ourselves a more traditional caramel apple here. Yeah, and the rest of that we're going to do. And you see how it releases from that nicely? It's not going to release from this nicely. Again, be very careful with when you're working with sugar. That is not something to do with really hot sugar. I've been working with this for like 20-30 minutes now without the heat, so it's still malleable. That is not comfortable, but it's not burning me. Tastes good though. When it doesn't get in your beard. But yeah, we're gonna, or rather, I'm gonna cut the rest of those out. We'll use those for caramels. Okay. So these guys need to make sure we're keeping those guys covered. Put our caramel aside. And we're going to stuff our squash. So we have our roasted squash here. We have our turkey sausage, apple, and veggie stuffing here. Make sure this is cut up a little bit here. Still got a couple of meatballs going here. Turn that oven back on. It's still hot from before, but not the temp. Try and get a little more apple and onion and a little bit less sausage there for the top. So you got some nice herbage going on there. If you wanted to, you could add some egg. You could add some other type of binder. I didn't want to add more starch. You know, you could do rice. You could do, I was actually thinking of quinoa or lentils tonight. But that's not necessary. Really like how that turkey turned out. It was sort of like a spur of the moment thing. I was in the store. They had ground turkey on sale. Like, first off, I was a little confused because it's too early for that. I guess they're assuming they're not going to sell as much turkey as usual this year. But so I went for that. I was like, I was looking for a sausage. I was like, I saw that on sale. It's like, let's spice that up. That'll be different. So I'm happy with that. This guy doesn't want to stay over to the side here. Keeps slipping off. Let's lean him against the other one so he stays that way. So we got that. We got that. That's ready to go back in that oven here in a moment. Now we need to make our cheesecake filling. So we got a brick of good old cream cheese. Actually sort of thinking, let's see. I think I'm going to use half of this. Oops, bumped the camera. So this has been sitting out for the whole stream here, so this should be still solid apparently. So we're going to have to work this a little bit, loosen it up a little. Okay. Pour last of our condensed milk in here. Oops. At least I didn't get all over me. Pinch of salt. Cinnamon. nutmeg. Much heavier in the nutmeg than the cinnamon. Lots of nutmeg. Little black pepper. I do have a timer going with a list of things on Amazon that is on there. Let's see. Do I want to throw anything else in there? I wish I had some ground clove. I don't. That's what we can do. Little splash of vanilla. Awesome. Very light on the vanilla. We want those other spices to come. Oh, what is that? Do I have ground clove? I do have ground clove. So we'll do a tap of ground clove in there. Okay. Do I want to go that extra step? Are we going the whole mile tonight? Tonight I am drinking a cheap bulk rosé. I am not going fancy with the rosé tonight. We have I think it was Chile. It's on the Argentina. Okay, so we got our cream cheese mixture. That's not that much, just a little typing. I appreciate that though. As I've said before, I enjoy having you guys around, but I almost sort of stream for myself. I want to have that record. I want to learn and improve upon things I've done in the past. It keeps in the schedule. It keeps me on a schedule. It keeps me planning for things. I had a horrible morning this morning. I had a morning that you cannot plan for. I lost someone that I care about. And so today was rough. And it keeps me focused on going. Keep going. Something to do. Something to focus on. But it keeps me focused on rotating that fridge so I don't have science projects going on. It keeps me cleaning my kitchen because I don't want this place looking filthy for you guys. It's looking like quite a mess right now. But otherwise, Let's throw these these squash back in the oven. Mostly just reheating those. Yep. But, you know, it's that's the way I originally started the stream. I was going to farmers markets on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, making dinner for myself for the rest of the week. And why not film it? Let's clean up a little bit here. I got a science project. I got sausage that I need to deal with later. So I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. But it's the fact that you guys show up here that's keeping me showing up. Yeah, I think we're gonna go there. Alright, dirty. Quick cleanup. We're gonna make a little bit of a chocolate glaze, because why not go all out tonight? While that's warming up, throw together a salad here. Just a real quick dinner salad to go with everything. Not a part of the normal dinner thing. We got arugula here. This is all from my bi-weekly grab and go farmers market box that I've been getting now. So this is actually, I mean, this is still looking gorgeous. This is looking beautiful. But it's been in my kitchen here since Friday. Battle. And I say Friday, I mean last Friday. No. I would recommend you find yourself a local farm that you trust and like, and buy into their CSA. A lot of small farms have CSAs. It's essentially, you know, you're sort of like doing futures. You're paying them money for their yearly crop. They're going ahead and giving you a percentage of what they make out of that. Yeah, it's something that was a lot easier a year ago. As far as meat, I would suggest the same thing once again. But if you cannot find yourself a local butcher, a local ranch that you can buy from direct, that you know where your stuff is coming from, meat's a little bit better. You can buy, I believe it's Butcher Box, has decent quality meats, and they do sort of like a prepaid box, or you pay for how much. A couple of people back Mixer Days were working with them. Yeah, it can be intimidating. Maybe that's why it's illegal to film processing. In America, freedom of speech. You can film anything. Just don't film animals being killed. But yeah, it's sort of rough right now. Like right when COVID hit, I had the pork, but I was buying almost everything from Whole Foods, and I don't buy from Whole Foods normally. It was an entirely new thing that I just completely switched everything because I didn't want to leave the house. I wanted to have a pre-made order that I can just go and grab and pick up and not interact with anyone at all. You should check them out, BU. They'll probably be more expensive. That's just economics. They're a smaller company, so they're not going to be able to give you economies of scale. Burning my pan back here. Glad it didn't have cream in it. Let's see, do I want to throw anything? I've gone pretty well through my shelves here, stuff that I can throw in my salads. Yeah, I don't have much left in here to throw into there. So we're going to leave that just sort of a simple celery and carrot for our side salad. Got that. We got our warm pan here. Let's turn the flame back on here, but at a low rate. Yeah, I mean, you're paying more because you don't have the economies of scale. But how can you really go wrong when you're paying a percentage and you're getting a percentage of what they're making? It's a great deal. It helps out small producers. But yeah, I understand why people in turn say we can't afford this. Not everyone can. So we're just warming up that cream here. Trying to pull out whatever that black little bit is. Still don't think I got it. Nope. It's so weird, it has to be like the shape of it or something had to make it anti-phobic or against liquid or what do you call it? Because it completely pulled itself out of the water and then dried itself off. It was sort of freaky looking. I think it was a piece of ash. Oh, that's absolutely my case, BU. The vast majority, if not all of my disposable goes towards food. Oh, come on, warm up. I'm going to turn the oven off here. I'm sure those are nice and warm. We're just going to let them chill in there while we finish off our apple project here. Love me some olives. Why no? How is it so hard to pull off? Olives. Mozzarella. Yeah, you gotta be careful with those too. It's a lot less of an issue than it used to be. Used to put everything in cans. Little mini mozzarellas. So we got our cream warming up here. That's warm enough now. Just sort of eyeballing this. There we go. Okay, we're going to let that sit for a minute. We need 2 glasses. Pastry bags. Is this still too hot? It's still a bit warm. We're going to let that cool down a little bit more. There's our first one. We allow this to cool a little bit more. That's pretty liquid still. Actually, I'm going to throw both of these in the fridge for a minute while we finish up our squash. Thank you, B. So now we got our roasted squash. We'll pull our... those aren't looking too bad. I was worried they were going to be too shriveled and ugly. But now you see why I have olives here. Give our squash a little personality. And do the same thing with the other guy if you want. The other guy turned out pretty well too. Don't want to hold on to it; it's still warm. Let's hope that our chocolates warming up a little bit here. Or cooling down here a little bit. So that we can actually fill these. There you go. Got our chocolate coated strawberry cheese or pumpkin spice cheesecake and caramel apples. Little hint of chocolate on top. Nice. We got my one more traditional caramel apple going on over there. We'll take a photo with him too. Thank you, Midget. How are you doing tonight? I don't think I got a chance to properly welcome you in. Hopefully you're having a good night. How we doing on our game here? Oh, I totally spaced out on our battle. Let's do our battle here. We lost? We lost? we lost. I think we're going to call it for tonight, but we're going to have to take another whack at that one here on Sunday. Looking here for someone that we can share the love with tonight. See who's up and about. See who's doing something interesting, something fun to share you guys with. Ah, there we go. He raided me a while ago here. We should go say hello to him. Actually, I take that back. Let's go hang out with her. That should be fun. There we go. Got another food and drink streamer doing their thing here. Want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you. I'm going to go and enjoy this amazingness. If I can ever get this back off of my counter. But, I will be back here on Sunday doing chicken and waffles on Sunday. And Wednesday, we have the vote going in Discord. Either the Vegemite or Hostess Twinkies for the ingredient ballot challenge. Thank you for joining me. I hope you all have a great night. See you on Friday, or on Sunday. Okay, that's interesting.